Hi guys, welcome to another episode or another video. This is Nikki E and I'm bringing you the Venus moving into Pisces for April the 5th to May the 2nd. So it's like more or less a month it's moving into. So this is some of the energies that we can expect to happen. We can expect or might happen because remember, this is Venus in Pisces, and Pisces is a sign where things are very emotional, very watery, but also things may not be what it seems. So what Venus means in Pisces is that it's going to be much more a sensitive time. It actually does really well in Pisces. This is a time of like deep emotion, intuition, and a lot of depth. You know, we're just moving out of, or we're still in, but we're coming out of Venus that's in Aquarius. So the emotion is very different. It's not more concerned with the future, or, even when it comes to like our emotions, it's not very detached. It's not logical. This is a time of being more romantic, into, being highly in tuned within our emotions, especially towards our partner. This energy is our sensitivity, being empathetic to people as well. Also being empathetic to ourselves. When it comes to like our love life, it tends to be a bit more deeper. It tends to be more emotional, over emotional as well. There could be dreams and visions that we can have when we want to be in, especially when it comes to us being in love. It could be like a haze, but also creation of what we would love to be. So, Pisces is a sign that tends to fall in love with love. Tends to fall with the illusion which is in love. So there can be a lot of, some of us could actually really fall in love with love, and this is to do with like anything that we are in contact with. So it could be, the clothes we're wearing, the work that we're doing, and it could just be like really like a multitude of things. Our passion and our drive is centered towards all of this emotional being of with Pisces. So when it does come to our, because it actually is really nice, because it's about time, I can say it's about time that we should be falling in love with our emotions and our sensitivity. But this is also, let's not forget, a very highly psychic time, okay? Because Pisces is the magician, but it's the most psychic sign in the zodiac, with Scorpio being the second. This is mutable as well. So the energies and the emotions, it tends to just go with the flow. So there's going to be lots of like affection being given freely, and not expecting anything as well. There can be, because obviously I'm talking about like the great side of this. There can be, with Venus being in Pisces, a sense of giving too much and not expecting anything back, but just being appreciated. And when that doesn't happen, it can make us feel quite lonely, quite down. You could say depressed, but I'll say down. Very much, feeling sorry for the self, and wanting to do more, even though it's, you've done enough. So we have this, there's a sense of discern between the two, of doing but also having something for the self as well. Because when you do too much, it can lead to huge, some of us can feel quite, we're a failure, or we can feel like we're like lots of disappointments, especially if you're putting your all, especially if you're putting your heart into helping someone as well. So yeah, that's one of the main things that's happened. Also, we can feel extremely sensitive with our surroundings, being extremely sensitive to our senses when we are around people as well. So we have to make sure during this time that we have that. It's not about space, but it is more to do with the boundaries, because Pisces is a sign that doesn't have a lot of boundaries. It's a boundless sign. It's mutable, it's water, it's fishes. So it doesn't really have any boundaries. So it's about setting boundaries, especially when it does come to love as well. And remember, this is Neptune, okay? But what this actually, another, that's like the shadow side of it. But the other good sides, because obviously there's other shadow sides as well. I think I can talk about more shadow sides during this, but with another crazy side, shadow crazy side that can be with this as well, is that we may not, things can actually come quite easily to a lot of us, but then this can lead to us not wanting to put a lot of effort into it. Yes, we can be very hypersensitive. There can also be sort of like a clinginess that can be happening, which could translate into that over codependent on people, because our emotions are going to be very strong. They're going to be very highly attuned as well. So these are the things that we, even myself, have to really look out for. And I was going to say, if you do have Venus in Pisces, happy Venus in Pisces return. This energy is also going to be helping with the conjunction that's going to be happening with Jupiter and Neptune too. So one other good stuff that can come with this, guys, is that, the senses, the emotional senses, if it's channeled really well, or if we remember to, because we may not remember to, is this the intuition, and we can be highly intuitive, but also our senses, which I've just spoken about. But also this gives us a lot of inspiration. During this time, some of us may not want to be around a lot of people, especially if everything in the world just gets a bit too much for us. But what this can actually help us do is be very creative, because Pisces is one of the most creative signs. Like Leo, it's very creative. So we can find ourselves being highly creative, seeing beneath the beauty in things. This is when the artist actually comes out, and we're going to see more artists coming out, especially with the conjunction in Neptune and Jupiter. So this is great for like writing down your feelings, doing like poetry. This is also great for any type of creativity, drawing, writing. Some of you may decide you want to like write love poetry. This is great for like love poetry as well. This is also great for doing this is great for actors, any type of performers, singers as well. Because Venus being in Pisces is really nice, because it's ruled by Libra, and it's also ruled by Taurus Venus. So with that being in Pisces, it can make things just flow a bit more. So the creativity is going to flow. The love is going to flow. If you are in a relationship, you are even if you are a person that is very controlling with your thoughts, you can now start to see that some of the energies and how you communicate is going to be a bit more freely. You're not going to be scared. You're not going to be, because with Jupiter entering, with Venus being in Pisces, it can actually show us our weaknesses in how we're controlling our feelings. It can also show us where we are being scared in how we're proclaiming love as well. So, and also, as we do know that when we are controlling our feelings, because we're scared, so we can actually get more in tune and more in contact with our feelings into presenting ourselves, presenting how you feel. There can be some marriage proposals going on, but obviously remember this is Neptune as well, so it's looking at who you are in love with, or you believe you're in love with, but who if it's the right thing to do as well. Because during this time there can be a lot of love marriages and proposals, but then we find once it goes into Gemini, not Gemini, once it goes into Aries, it's like, oh my God, I didn't really want this. I just felt like I felt like I did, but now it's, you know, it's gone all belly up. So, you know, there can be this dream and this haze, but it actually does feel really nice at the time. And even if you do find when it goes into Aries that some things were a mistake, at least you had like the courage to express yourself. Okay, so, but like I said, this is actually great to be really in tune with your partner, in what their needs are and what they're thinking. This is great to be doing creative work with your partner as well. You know, having like a nice setting, dinner. This is also great to be doing, like, again, spiritual practice, but also self-care, taking care of yourself. So this is about having Epsom salt baths with lovely essential oils like rose and lavender. And obviously, you know, check with your health practitioner before you use these things, but these are just like guides. But it's really nice to be having like salt baths or even like long showers, just to, you know, cleanse yourself, because sometimes we are going to be needed to be cleansed, and Pisces is ruled by the water. So, you know, it's actually really great to be spending time in the water. Great for cooking, making up, you know, your senses are going to be heightened to be creating like meals, and the meals that we can create as well, or obviously can also be freestyle, because Pisces is mutable. So this is like, oh, I thought of this meal, I'm actually going to be doing it, you know. So it really does feel, you know, really nice, and really, you know, especially our senses are going to be highly attuned as well. Let's not forget the sun is in Aries. Okay, so this is a brand new, it's going to also feel like a brand new beginning for a lot of us when we are, you know, with Venus being in Pisces. This does give us a time with the sun being in Aries to be, you know, transforming our relationships in some way, transforming ourselves in some way, transforming your creativity in some way. This time it can feel that things are getting very deep, very intense. This is the time that we're going to be much more like responsible, having like feeling like responsible for things that we need to do, because, you know, Venus also does rule money. So, and with Pisces being a sign that's not very material, remember this is the general, but the actual sign of Pisces is not very materialistic. So when it does come to money, guys, we may, you know, obviously it's a brand new time to be sorting out your finances in any way, but we may forget that because we're going to be so much in love, in this love bubble. So this is also a great time to be sorting out any debts, loans that needs to be sorted out, clearing everything. You know, money could actually come really easy to some of you as well, which is also really good. So money can come easily, but also expenditures can also go just as easily as well. And, you know, it's, you know, because my mind constantly goes to creativity with this. You know, I think you guys know, especially listening to me for a while, that I talk about creativity a lot. But it's a really good time for this, you know. And, you know, like I said before, that, you know, a lot of creative people are born with Venus in Pisces or Moon in Pisces. They got Pisces in their chart. These people are very creative. So, you know, we may see a lot of people being more at center stage of showing their creations. And some of these creations, you know, a lot of us can feel it's definitely from the heart as well. There can be some changes that happen, like emotional changes that can happen. Emotionally, some of us may feel very up and down because it feels a little bit like Mars being in Pisces, but I'll do a video on that. But yeah, there can be some, I feel that during this time as well, especially the energies, there's going to be like emotional, there can be some ups and downs, there can be lots of like like changes. There could also be some job changes as well. There could be some of us wanting to present, put what we have out there as well, like i.e. as in like gaining recognition. And yeah, there can be a lot of you know, this is about, you know, it depends what Pisces, it depends what, you know, because if you are having a Venus in Pisces transit, it depends what decan it is. Okay, but yeah, there may be like a desire to show, a desire to show your feelings, a desire to show your work, and also a desire for like some type of recognition as well, which can be, you know, it's actually a good thing, especially if you're a shy person. But it also, if it goes too far, it can actually be quite crazy as well. But still, you know, because Pisces, you know, I've said this before, they're one of the most underrated signs. And I was not saying that because I am, but I just say that because the quieter you are, they're the ones that you need to really watch. And especially like early or mid-degree Pisces, you know, they are, you know, they're actually, I've said this before as well, I keep saying that word, but because of this conjunction that we're having, we're going to see a lot more people with Pisces in their charts going to be coming through. And it's not going to be just for now, it's going to be for a very, very long time. So we're going to see a huge emphasis and a huge theme of a lot of like, you know, just lots of like creativity out there. This could also bring us, a lot of us, in a huge dream state too. So, you know, as you guys can see, I forgot to say this as well, you know, Mercury and Pisces and everything. As you guys can see that we have the cards for this is the Empress card, which is ruled by Venus, is Taurus. We also got the Moon card, which is Pisces as well. I was going to put up another card, but obviously these two I'm very much drawn to. So these cards are going to be guiding us for the next month of, you know, self-care, taking care of others, but also taking care of ourselves as well. Being highly in tune is a very fertile card as well. The Moon card is very fertile, but also the Moon is about the ebbs and flows of life. This can also, you know, the Moon, the Empress and the Moon cards together, they're going to be creating this whole like emotional state of being, a whole emotional state of where our images are, and also where our thoughts are, and also where we are going to be allowing ourselves to be grounded, but also allowing ourselves to feel. Okay, so, you know, like I said, it is a fertile card. It doesn't necessarily just mean children. It means fertile in what we're feeling, what we're bringing out there, and what we're saying, how we're communicating, but obviously essentially in how we feel during this Venus in Pisces. So yeah, and also this the whole of the month, how it's going to be for it, things might just go swimmingly well, or things might just go swimmingly crazy as well. Another emphasis before I go, I see with this is that, you know, the Venus, the rising sign to this, when it happens, is actually in Virgo, which actually does oppose Pisces. But with it being in, with Virgo being the rising sign to this, it actually gives a bit of a grounded stance in getting work done, because, you know, Virgo is the opposite to Pisces. And when Pisces just feels, does what it wants, doesn't have any, it's not like necessary, yeah, well, it depends on the mood. There can be like a lack of direction. It can be quite rebellious. It can also works when it wants. But with the rising scientist being in Virgo, it can make a lot of us feel quite practical, because the rising sign is how we are viewed. So there's a very much like a practicality side to this. And, you know, the focus is going to be on our routines, our work life, but also like the health and also the body. And let's not forget the mental health as well. So this is also a time that there's going to be some spring cleaning going on. So some of you may even decide that there's certain things during this Venus in Pisces that you don't actually need in your life. And some of these things, I don't feel that it's going to be very quick. It might just take a while for things to like filter through in, okay, you know, once like the daydream is over, it's like, actually, I don't really need this. I actually want to be alone. I actually, you know, want to do this by myself, or I actually find that if I'm working, doing it this way, it actually really works. So it can give us a bit of a grounding energy as well. But you know, Virgo is about, it can be very anal when it needs things done neatly, you know, can be quite obsessive as well. It's all about perfection. So, you know, another thing with this, we have to, not we, but you know, there's a bit of a mindfulness with this, like whoever we are seeking to be with, or whatever, if we're daydreaming about a certain person or a certain type of creativity, we can get very obsessed with it because it needs to be very perfect. So these two energy, the energy of Virgo will help during Venus in Pisces in order to make us feel very grounded, not get lost in the clouds. But also the Pisceans can give us this, okay, even if it's not like this, at least I'm finding there's a bit of love that I see in this, even if it isn't perfect as well. So guys, that was the Venus in Pisces energies and themes that I, you know, that I see happening. Obviously, like I said, this is mutable, so you know, anything can just, it can go anywhere. But yes, so feel free guys to let me know how the Venus in Pisces transit has gone for you. And you know, don't forget to like, share and subscribe this video. And thank you very much for listening guys, and I'll speak to you very soon with another video. Take care. Bye.